on many a time before. And again, this subject is very serious, and it can't be lightly treated in a short time. And if you want to really find out more about it, you can ask me, Akil Mia. He will help you by giving you the numbers of tapes, and also he can provide you with tapes if you are ready to part with £1 each tape.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to ask why the Shias put so much emphasis on the death of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein.
Well, it's so obvious. They died for a noble cause and bravely, and that those deaths were really memorable. And they upheld the human honor of not bowing down to coercion in religion or in any way. So the whole episode is a very noble episode from which lessons can be drawn by the posterity. So as far as remembering that great event is concerned, and also very tragic event, I must admit, there is no harm. But the way some Shias do, that is objectionable. You know, by beating their chests and by injuring themselves and making a show of a mourning procession, etc. That is neither here nor there in Islam. It is totally wrong. And many Shia scholars have themselves condemned. I think many Iranian scholars condemn this. They don't agree with the subcontinental way of expressing their grief, and they wrongly condemn this. So, as far as the spirit of Karbala is concerned, that is of course a great lesson for the humanity, but the expressions are not correct. Mr. Akram Ahmadi, yes please. How did you come this evening? You were supposed to be at Islamabad at this time, weren't you?
Not me, sir.
Not me? You were excommunicated by the family?
No, sir. I wanted to come to the Majlis France, sir.
But you were invited, I hope?
Yes, I was invited.
So you made a sacrifice, huh?
That's right.
Good.
So the question which I wanted to ask, the Quran states that, for example, on two aspects with regards to women, if you require witnesses, then there should be twice the number.
No, the Holy Quran doesn't say. Doesn't say that. This is what I have already mentioned so many times before. The Holy Quran says that the witness would, in some cases, not in all cases,
yes,
in some financial transactions only. If you don't have any male member of the society to work as your witness, then two women should be requested to testify that transaction. One of them would be witness, not both together.
Oh, I see.
And the other, according to the Holy Quran, is only for the purpose of assisting the lady who is witness in case she makes a mistake. Now that is a completely different story from the way it is taken. The Holy Quran, as I told earlier, is a religion which is strongly related with human psyche. And the Holy Quran could not ignore as such that, generally speaking, the ladies have less aptitude for financial matters than men have. Now I agree that occasionally, exceptionally, some ladies have special acumen regarding that. And also, in the modern world, many ladies are well capable of looking after their financial affairs as well. But still, a general statement can be made that, considering the mankind as such, many more ladies than men can be declared as incapable of properly conceiving the financial affairs and their intricacies and remembering things in this regard. So this is why when the financial affairs come, the lady say, all right, call a family member or a male member and say, all right, handle this, and despite the fact that they are educated too. So the Holy Quran knows, because it's the word of God, that in such cases the ladies should be assisted. If, it's a very honorable way of telling us that two ladies are required, not because one is not reliable. The Holy Quran doesn't say that. What it says is that there is a likelihood that the lady who is bearing witness to such a deal may get confused about what actually was said or done or written. In that case, the other lady would assist her. When she would remind her, no, this is not what it was said. It was said like this. So it is only to assist her. And finally, her word would be carried.
The main witness, that is.
The main witness, yes. Because if the Holy Quran meant that both will be the witnesses, in that case, the moment they differed, the whole witness would fall down as worthless. Because a contradiction in a statement of a witness means nothing. So the ulama don't understand this factor. That the moment they believe that the Holy Quran initially meant two lady witnesses to appear, then the moment it mentions that if they differ, or if somebody forgets, one of them forgets, then what? Then they differ. And when they differ with each other, the whole testimony falls down. So the other lady, one of the ladies is a second witness, sort of, but not a witness. She is to remind her and assist her in her statement. It is for the first witness to take help from the lady and then rectify her statement if she so chooses. Otherwise her statement would be carried.
Also following on the same lines, there is also, for example, on the law of inheritance, the daughter, for example, would have half the share of her son.
That is correct, because the ladies are not responsible for running the wheel of economy in Islamic society. It is always the man who is held responsible for supplying the family needs and meeting the requirements of the sustenance of life. So the ladies, because they don't have the responsibility for the other party, they have half the share. And because men would ultimately bear the responsibility of one other person at least, and looking after the needs of the full family, so they are given the full share, but with the expectation that they are ultimately going to share it with somebody else.
So also in Surah Al-Nisa, I think, there is the question of slight misbehavior by a woman, then she should be kept in a...
Slight misbehavior? No, I don't read any such thing.
I think short of, say, adultery or, isn't...
That's not slight.
No, yes, but I mean...
Must you ask all the questions concerning ladies tonight?
Sometimes... my wife has actually been asking me all these questions.
All right, tell me.
This particular one, you see, there is a restriction on women.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
On misbehavior.
The fact is that the ladies are given a certain station or status in life and are relegated certain responsibilities. They are not responsible for providing the needs of the house and the requirements of the family. Economically, they are not responsible for supporting the family. So if they remain in the house, there is no harm done.
Yes.
But if the husbands are enclosed in the houses, and that's perhaps you meant, that a punishment is meted out for the ladies and not for the husband, then it would be the ladies and the whole family which would suffer. You see?
Actually,
because their initial task is, and the main task is to look after the family requirements, so they are not put to extra trouble. They have to anyway prepare the household and things, and they work less in participating